Hello, my name is Richard Weber. I am the Unified Communications Support Specialist at Com Solutions Company. And in today's tech tip, we're going to talk about configuring file-based music on hold on the ShoreTel IP-based phone system. So first off, I'm going to go through and show you some of the new options that we have in the phone system. These are all based on the 13.1 release, which just recently came out end of 2012. So up to this point, the only thing that we had in regards to music on hold was to be able to physically connect a music source to the audio import jack on the front of a ShoreTel switch and then enable that switch to be the music on hold source. So some new features in 13.1 are going to allow us to use files and drop files onto the servers and use those as our music on hold source. So I'm going to start off by showing you a couple things in regards to how we can configure those sources inside of ShoreTel Director. And then I'm going to show you how we can actually go and download a free music on hold source off of the internet and convert that to a acceptable file using a program called Audacity, which is also a free audio editor out on the internet, and then apply that file. So first off, I'm going to show you under trunk groups, under PRI trunk group, under DNS mapping, we have a new option here where we can actually apply a music on hold source to a specific DNS mapping. Next place we can apply music on hold to is if I look at a user group. Under a user group, I can apply a specific music on hold source. And then if we look under call control, we also have a new section here called music on hold. Under music on hold, we have a section for files and a section for system defaults. System defaults are where we can specify what would be the music on hold source for internal calls, and then also what it would be for external calls. So as you can see, for internal calls, I can say none or tone-based or file-based. And then the file-based system default, this is where I can say the system default is it's a jack, or it's actually one of my music on hold sources. And with the 13.1 install, ShoreTel actually provides a music on hold source. Next thing I want to show is if we go on to our actual application servers, on our application servers is where we can allow an actual application server to enable it for a music on hold. And of course, then it would need an extension associated to that. So, the last but not least, of course, is the music on hold files. And if I look under files, this is where I can add or delete music on hold files to the system. So, if I don't want to use that ShoreTel default one, how can I add additional music on hold sources to the system? A website I've often used over the years to grab some quick free, royalty-free music on hold files is from a website called American Inbound. And basically, I'm out on that website right now, and I can click and download an entire CD of songs, or I can click and download individual songs. I've already gone through the process of downloading this very first song on the list, which is a Mozart song, and I have that file downloaded here into my downloads folder. One other item I'm also going to need, since this is a MP3 file, what I'm going to need is something to convert that to the acceptable parameters that are required in order to use that as a WAV file in the ShoreTel system. So another website you can go out to is audacitysourceforge.net, and on here you'll find a free, it's a free program that allows you to do file conversions of WAV files, and we're going to use that program to take that Mozart file that we downloaded and save it as something that we can then in turn import into ShoreTel Director. So first thing I'm going to do inside of Audacity is I'm going to open the file that I downloaded from the website, and that's this file right here under my downloads folder. So once I get this file open, there's a couple things I have to do to it in order to get it to be able to export to the acceptable file format that's required for the ShoreTel system. First thing you'll notice is there's two tracks and this file is running in stereo. One thing we need to have for ShoreTel is it needs to be a mono, 8-bit mono ULAW file. So first thing I'm going to do inside of Audacity is if I go up here under tracks, there's stereo track to mono. I'm going to go ahead and select that, and now I'm going to have a mono track. And then the other thing I have to do down here is down in the lower left corner under project rate, I want to set that to 8,000 hertz. At this point now, I'm ready to export this file, so I'm going to go File and say Export. I'm going to give this a much simpler name. Let's call this Mozart. And then under Save As Type, I have a lot of options here. What I want to select is Other on Compressed File. And then once I select that, over here on the right is an Options button. And then under Options, I want to select WAV file. And under Encoding, I want to select ULAW. At this point, I can go ahead and say OK and say Save. I'm going to get this, metadata information because it's an MP3 file and it has all that stuff attached to it, at which point I can just hit OK. The system's going to go through the export process. At which point now in my downloads folder, I have the original MP3 file, but I also now have this WAV file. And that WAV file is the one that we're going to import into ShoreTel Director. We're going to go back in here into ShoreTel Director. We're going to go under Call Control, Music on Hold, Files, and I'm going to say New. At this point, I just need to give it a name. And I need to browse to that file. At which point, I can then hit Save. And now that file is going to be available as a Music on Hold resource for me. Now, once again, if you remember, I can go to DNS mappings, I can go to user groups, or I can make it the system default. What's important here to remember is the process by which the system will pick the Music on Hold sources. It starts with DNS mapping. If there's nothing on DNS mapping, it will go to user group. If there's nothing on user group, it will go to the system-wide default. And then, of course, if there's nothing specified on the system-wide default, it will revert back to the jack input. So what I'm going to do for this purposes is I'm just going to keep this simple, and I'm going to go on system default at this point, and I'm going to select the new file that I installed and hit Save. And there you have it. We've successfully added a new Music on Hold source to the new version of ShoreTel. ShoreTel 13.1 is required in order to be able to do file-based Music on Hold. At this point, I'd like to just say thank you, and be sure to check back here often for future tech tips. Once again, my name is Richard Weber. I'm the Unified Communications Specialist for Com Solutions Company. Thank you.